It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my...
Hey everyone, it's Lisa. Happy Monday. I love Mondays. Even today when I was waking up, I heard like the big trucks, because we have so much building around us. Like I heard the big trucks coming in and going down the road, and it just felt good. I told John, maybe I just relate it to the excitement of moving in, but I've always loved Mondays. This front portion is sponsored by Skillshare. I've told you guys before that I have been taking classes with Skillshare and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. The coolest thing is, as my interests have changed, I have taken different types of classes. In the beginning, I was more concerned with my Instagram pictures and editing. So I took a lot of classes about that. And I realized that wasn't, I'm always trying to improve myself and my YouTube and my Instagram and my overall presence here. Through doing that and through learning and taking some courses, I learned that wasn't, it's kind of like I went there and I did that, and so now that's not on my list. That's not something I feel like is holding me back. It wasn't something that I felt like was as important as I thought it was, and therefore it kind of removed that kind of block from my head and my outlook. Before I forget, they have a new special now that's going through September. So the first 1,000 people that click my link below, you will get a 1-month subscription to Skillshare for free instead of 2 weeks like it usually is. So for the first 1,000 of you that click down below, I think you will enjoy it. I think that you will find it's just a bunch of creative people. They're not necessarily all teachers, getting together and doing different creative things. It could be from sewing to cooking to gardening to pottery to design to public speaking. That's what I kind of concentrated on the last time I think I was talking to you guys, was I was, learning about public speaking. Well, there's a big difference in me public speaking to you here on camera than there is in front of a big audience. So, if I had to do that, then I would take more courses. I just think it's a really neat thing. My mom joined last time, and several of my friends have joined and really have enjoyed it. I mean, it can be it's amazing. It's like whatever you're into at the moment, you can usually find something on Skillshare. So thank you to them for sponsoring this video. So what I thought I would do is tell you about a few of the courses that I have taken. The first one I took was by Eugena Washington, and she is a model, and she had a course on confidence, and it was called Personal Brilliance. She did a little activity where you took her course, and then she had you do this little pyramid where you put your goals at the top, and then you put the 3 actions that you're going to take, and then you put a support person at the bottom. Well, it just so happens right around this time is when I was really trying to talk myself into doing a live video on Instagram. I just feel like, I've mentioned doing podcasts. I'm definitely still trying to get into that. But I was thinking, how great would it be when I do a video and then I hear your comments back, if there was a way for me to be able to talk with you about it. And Instagram is like IGTV. Instagram is the first thing I thought of. I think that might be the easiest just because I could use my phone. But one day I might explore YouTube also. And what I discovered after this and after completing this is this was more of an exercise for a young person. She's probably in her 20s or 30s. And I was thinking, okay, there are different levels of confidence. And I think when you get just a little bit older and you're past, because she had you write down a pleasure playlist, like a music playlist. And not that I don't think good songs do put you in a happy mood. And then she had you get a photo of yourself that you like so you could feel inspired. Well, I feel like I'm kind of past that. And, my confidence kind of comes and goes. I'm always pretty confident in not worrying about what people think or not worrying about how I look or, you know, just things like that, my confidence kind of goes up and down in myself. Like, am I doing the right thing? Have I accomplished enough? Should I have said that? You know, things like that. That is what I am going to concentrate a little bit more on, but it's not like it wasn't worth taking. The next video that I took on Skillshare was night before last. So I found a class on Skillshare, how to host live videos. And this was a pretty young girl named Mackayla P. And she actually, a lot of these people that are on the Skillshare, and this part of the video is not sponsored. I just want to tell you about my experience, and I think you can learn from it too. That's her job. She is a marketing expert. She works with people and she helps them do live videos. So these are some of the tips she said. She said, everyone is scared. Train yourself to be confident. Power poses, which I have never done that. I've never tried that, a power pose. It's supposed to be really good. They say your mind does follow your body. Like if you smile a lot in the mirror, even if you don't feel like it, that your mind will kind of pick up on that and feel happy. So I have heard of that. And then she mentioned tongue twisters for warm-ups. And a lot of this stuff I felt like I kind of knew just because I'm used to doing this. My big fear was not knowing what button to push, not knowing, you know, when everybody was going to be on there, not being able to read the questions and stuff like that. And she said, are you a waffler or do you forget what you're about to say? Do you go blank? Write a bullet point list of the topics you want to talk about. So that was a good tip that I needed because I am a waffler. You guys know I will waffle all over the place and talk about 10 different things and forget about the first thing I was talking about. So I needed that. So this was a great little course for me to take. And then she said, be a dynamic presenter, not boring. Drop the ums, just keep talking. I do not have as much of a problem with the ums as I do so. To me, like so is a connecting word. So I noticed that I say that a lot. So that's something I want to work on. I noticed in my live, I was smacking the whole time. I will work on that. That is part of it. That is part of it. Just do it. Just do it. And then you watch yourself and you don't take yourself too seriously. Anyone who has done it, the man in the arena, anyone who has done it understands. People that don't have the nerve to do it or haven't ever done it and then they criticize, you don't even take their criticism because they're not in the arena. Keep that in mind. So keep that in mind and do not feel afraid, not just with Instagram Live, with anything, Another point is scared to wait, have a dance party. Say hello and ask a question. How are you? Where are you in the country you're in and stuff like that. I feel like I know you guys well enough that I wasn't afraid of having like empty airtime. As you can see, I talked over 30 minutes. Next time I will try to keep it a little bit more pithy and succinct to the point. So now I set up the little points to my live video. Then I wrote down some points to set up for a live video. I think I actually watched this little section on YouTube. And I wrote down how to repurpose your live video. I actually uploaded it to YouTube, but rookie mistake, in the middle of my video, my phone was running out of charge. For some reason, the night before, it had not charged completely. Then I went over and got the charger, and when I put the charger in the phone, it messed up my voice. Like it took the timing off of my voice. I don't know if that would drive you guys crazy. If you want me to post it to YouTube, let me know. If not, I saved it to my IGTV. So you can see my very first live video ever. I was going to tell you 3 ways or steps to try new things. That's going to be a video coming up soon. I'm working on that. But I decided to just go on Skillshare one more time and see what types of videos were in psychology. I actually looked up psychology courses online because I would love to take a course in psychology, but I don't know if that's the best way to spend my time. I think I might be better off just reading and learning like bullet points, things that I'm actually interested in. I'm scared if I joined a course, it might be, half of stuff I'm interested in, half not. So I have bought some really good psychology books, and I'll tell you about those in another video. So I took just a self-esteem course on psychology. It was so good. Let me tell you just a few little points that I learned. See, I took notes. Self-perceptions do have influence. If you think you are good at math, you are more likely going to do well at math. Remember I talked about how you see yourself or how you identify yourself? That's so important. If you identify yourself to yourself or others as a fit person, you are going to be more likely to do things that keep you fit. That's just, I've seen that in my own life, really. And vice versa. If you identify yourself with, for instance, Brooke being a Pisces, well, if she does something that I think is just too emotional or she's being just too dramatic, her answer is, I'm a Pisces. So see, she's identified that with that, and she's using that, I think, as an excuse to be overly dramatic and to not feel as strong and capable as she could feel. If you want to encourage someone, it is good to be specific. Instead of saying a general phrase, you are great, especially to your children, you say, wow, Brooke, you are so good at working with people and making them feel comfortable. That is really your gift. And that way, especially with children and with your friends, your family, it is powerful. Your words have power. Feedback is best when it's true and specific. Self-esteem motivation. Social rejection lowers our self-esteem and makes us more eager for approval. Boy, have I seen that here on YouTube. Things that would not have bothered me in the least, but there's something about reading my comments and being here on social media. It's your instinct to want to please them. You have to fight that feeling. You have to keep your self-esteem strong by not letting those people who have nothing to do with you change, how you feel about yourself. The dark side of self-esteem, perceived self-control. Self-control is weaker after exertion, replenished with rest, and strengthened by exercise. And these are all, I will list the exact class that I took. She had them all backed up by facts and studies. People who imagine themselves as hardworking and successful people perform better than those who imagine themselves as failures. Envision your positive possibilities and you become more likely to enact a positive strategy. So true. Do not ever let yourself tell yourself that you are not good at something or you can't do something, because then you will not have the motivation. It's amazing how your words go into your mind, then that goes into your actions. You need to always be positive with yourself. And I'm not saying unrealistic. I'm not going to sit here and tell myself, oh, you are going to run some marathons in the next 6 months. Or, oh, Lisa, you are going to have 1 million subscribers in the next month. Don't lie to yourself. Set nice, realistic goals that you can work on, and don't sabotage yourself. So much of life is trying to not self-sabotage. I have learned that. I would have never thought I was a person who did self-sabotaging activities and things like that, but I am. Okay, this is something very interesting. I learned about this on another channel a long time ago because I remember talking to my mom about it. I can't remember which one of my gurus I was listening to, but it's the Locus of Control. There are 2 types of people that have 2 types of locus of control. There are those that think, here, let me read it exactly and then we'll talk about it. Some people seem to persistently feel that what happens to them is governed by the external forces of one kind or another. So they think that this happened to me again. I'm just the unluckiest person. This always happens to me. It's happened to me again. My boyfriend's turned into a jerk, or, they just think that everything happens to them from the outside. They have no control over it. The next person feels that what happens to them is governed largely by their own actions and their own skills. This is something I had to come to grips with. I always thought, how do I end up getting these boyfriends that are so controlling? And, this has happened to me again. But it was me. It was me. It was me not paying attention to who I chose. It can be that way with friends. You are in charge of your life. Life is not just happening to you. You can make differences. You can, and we'll talk about this in a different video, but you need to live deliberately. You're not a jellyfish just flowing through the ocean, waiting to see, making a plan and taking actions to go to that plan. Something as simple as, okay, say you're watching me and you are 80 years old and you're thinking, Lisa, my planning days are over. I am going to just sit down and enjoy the rest of my life. That's a plan. That's a plan. Envision your life for the rest of your days. You could live way past 100. Don't take for granted. I bought a book by Linda Hay. It was Empowering Women, and she has a whole chapter on as we age and how the age is getting higher and higher, and not to automatically think of yourself as unhealthy, not able to walk or go anywhere, not able to travel. Envision the rest of your life as peaceful, as relaxing, whatever makes you happy. That's what you envision, a realistic vision of the way you want the rest of your life to be. Get that in your head, think about it, dream about it, and take those actions to go that way. Live deliberately. Don't just think, oh, I hope I end up okay. Are you more in charge of your destiny, or are you a victim of your circumstances? Oh, that's powerful. That's something powerful to think about. Self-serving bias. Most people see themselves as better than the other person, more intelligent and better looking. I was kind of surprised by that. Really, this sounds terrible. I can kind of believe that about men. On matters of opinion, we find support for our positions by overestimating the extent to which others agree, a phenomenon called false consensus effect. We assure ourselves by thinking the shortcomings are common. If one person is a liar, they begin to think of the others and act as they do. I wonder if this has anything to do with, I don't know if you've ever had a really jealous boyfriend. I've had two really jealous boyfriends that I'm telling you, the breathing made them think that you were cheating on them. And I know that stems from insecurity, and I have compassion for it, especially now when I look back. But have you noticed they're always the ones that cheat? What is that? I don't know if that might have something to do with this. Then self-presentation. And I've got down here a quote. I'm really not a failure. I would have done well except for this problem. Why would people handicap themselves with self-defeating behavior? And the example I remember now, it would be like if you have a big exam coming up and you know you need to study for an exam, but maybe you feel insecure about it, so you just watch Netflix all night or you play video games. Then when you don't do well on the exam, you say, well, I didn't study. Instead of really trying and then doing bad, then your ego and your self-esteem takes a hit. Now, this is an epiphany I have had in the last probably year. Remember, I have always told you that I'm not competitive. I'm not competitive. And I've never been competitive. But you know what? I think it's like a self-preservation feeling or motive. By not competing and by not feeling competitive, you don't lose. You don't lose, but you know what? You don't gain. And I think that that's good to a point. I don't think it's good when it comes to comparison. because if you compare too much, we're just all so different. I think, and I want to talk about this one day too, the best comparison and the best competition you can ever have is with yourself. You know, striving to do better and better and better, and only comparing yourself to yourself yesterday, last year, 5 years ago, or to a mentor or to someone that you look up to. If you compare yourself to someone that you're striving to be like, then I think you can pick up some tips from that too. So that is something that I have learned from myself. Okay, the last little thing here, and look, I'm through. I think I have one page left in my notebook. I ordered another one. I ordered 2 more today. We are social animals playing to an audience. There is so much of our behavior that goes back to or goes to living in groups, colonies, tribes, whatever you want to call them. We are social animals. We need each other. Self-presentation refers to our wanting to present a desired image. Social interaction is a careful balance of looking good while not looking too good. In familiar situations, self-presentation happens without effort. Okay, say you're with your family or your close friends. You're just yourself. You're not thinking about it. You're just yourself. They know you, you know them, and you're not worried about it. But unfamiliar situations, people who would like to impress. We are self-conscious of our impressions. We are less modest than among friends who know us well. And the example they gave is like dating. You know, when you first start dating, you might overstate some things to impress someone. Going to a meeting, going to I think of, you know, different social situations I've been to, like going to reward style. And I didn't feel that way. I'm trying to think of any time I've ever felt like I had to impress someone. You know, it might have been my self-sabotage of not wanting to even go there. Seems like I would rather someone be surprised by I don't really try to impress anybody with anything. I would almost rather them be surprised than overstate it. But I don't know, that's some good self-reflection for me there. I hope you guys kind of liked this and picked a little something up from it. The key to everything is working on yourself. I think it's every bit as important as any makeup that you will put on. And I was thinking back to, you know, the days before YouTube and, you know, what I was doing with my life, what I was doing to make money. And the one example I can think of, just a little anecdotal story to share with you. I used to, you know, have a handbag business, and I used to have so many orders. I'm telling you guys, sometimes I would almost have a breakdown. I would have to tell myself, no one's going to die without this handbag. And especially when I started embroidering and making diaper bags and monogramming things, and I would have so many orders, it would like freak me out. And if you are a creative person, you will know that when you are sewing or creating something, I'm sure artists feel this way too, when you just go and do it anytime you want to and you paint or sew anything that you feel like it's a lot more enjoyable than knowing you have to make X bag and get it done by X time, and you just can't go in there and do whatever you want. So what I used to try to do, if I could, is make a bag for an order and then make one I wanted. And I would sell them. I went to a local display store here in town that sold like display racks and stuff. I think they actually bought them from stores that had closed down. So I bought a big metal, like industrial display rack, and I sold my bags at my parents' office or shop. I sold them at a local, like crafty type, monogrammy type store. And I also sold them at a marketplace that sells like furniture and stuff like that. Different people go in. And anyway, where I'm going with this is even then, if I knew I had a bag to deliver to someone, I would think about the night before, what am I going to wear tomorrow? And I would always dress up, and I would always have my makeup on, and I would not deliver a bag unless I looked really nice, because I wanted my self-presentation and self-image to be one of someone who takes care of myself, someone who cares about how they look, and it's just something that I've always valued. So it's not just been since here on YouTube. I have always felt that to be important, but not the most important thing in my life. So there goes that little story. I just try to tell you different little things about where I'm coming from with you guys. I feel like the more you know about me, the more I can help you. So thank you so much for watching. Let me do a quick outfit of the day. This is the green dress that I bought from Zara that I love so much. And remember last time I was struggling to find a green bra to go with this. Well, what I ended up doing is, and I'm not going to bend over too much, is I ended up going and getting these, which are the petals. They're not the ones, I've always used the kind that stick on like a Band-Aid and then you can just use them one time. This is my first time trying the silicone petals. So we shall see. They come with a case. See how that goes. Not only do I just happen to like wearing Havaiana flip-flops, sometimes when a dress is kind of like this and it's just a little bit more revealing, I wear like a really casual shoe, and that kind of tones it down a little bit, at least how I feel. And let's see, I would tighten the straps, but I would have to get them altered. I might do that for next year, but I really just wanted to wear this dress one more time. And for accessories, I have on these little triple hoop earrings from Sheila. They're actually the larger ones. There's a smaller version that I will link below. These are my, if you were on my live, you heard me say that these rings kind of make a little chink, chink, chink sound, and it kind of makes you feel, it's kind of like bangles. I just love that combination. And then I put on the two bangles or cuffs, and I just think it's a pretty arm. And I wanted to wear this because I haven't worn it enough. It's my Chanel J12 watch, and the nail polish was inspired by a picture I saw on the Rodial Instagram. The makeup artist had on red nail polish, and I was like, oh, there's just nothing like red nail polish. And I know it doesn't really go with my green dress, but to me, red nails and red toes, I think you could permanently have red nails and red toes, and it's like a neutral. It goes with everything, and it's just, it's kind of like a statement. It's just, I think it's classy, sexy, everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys real soon. Bye-bye.